Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Stephen Kellogg, and I'm here at an undisclosed location.
Well, we'll start with a man who we are always happy to welcome back on the mountain stage. This is his 6th visit.
Really excited. Stephen Kellogg is with us.
Singer-songwriter Stephen Kellogg has shared a few singles.
It goes.
Back in the day, used to do 275 days a year on the road.
I'm at the Pace Studios with Stephen Kellogg.
I'd never heard your music before. I really loved it.
The thing is, I have been kicking around here for almost 20 years now, you know. I know what you're saying.
He does what he does best, which is mine his own life to come up with some truths. Paul Simon does it too. A lot of great writers do it, and I think he's right up there with them.
Sold out show tonight at Wolfram. Please welcome our friend, Mr. Stephen Kellogg.
Please welcome Mr. Stephen Kellogg.
My name is Stephen Kellogg, professional singer and songwriter. It's better to be at the bottom of a ladder you want to climb than the top of one you don't. I got that from The Office. There'll be objects in the mirror.
I think Stephen is brave, you know, so as an artist, he's an artist's artist.
As we look back through the looking glass.
His music is pretty much the most honest music I've ever listened to in my life. It's like he's writing in his diary.
Gotta dance like a symphony of joy.
In his music, he exudes optimism, a belief in all our abilities to transcend and persevere.
I always say that he's one of the greatest lyricists of our time.
All the way from the East Coast, Mr. Stephen Kellogg.
I got all I ever wanted, but I still cannot believe how I love to take for granted all the love that comes to me, all the love.
So I'm just there to say thank you so much for your service. They're away from their families for much more than we are as musicians. I've always kind of operated in different genres, so it gave me a chance to kind of indulge that.
After seeing that film about you, Last Man Standing, I have a new appreciation.
Do you remember who we were when all this began?
15 years. I do this because I don't feel that I have an option. And it's also how I feed my family, so.
For me, music just has to say something.
Gonna be the last man standing.
He has also written a book of corresponding essays about life, marriage, and music.
Writing the book is harder than I thought.
Yeah.
I'm about to start work on a new project. A series of essays that correspond.
It's like I got 4 daughters. I want to see them grow up, and I want to dream new dreams.
The ocean. If you don't become the ocean, you'll be seasick every day. The poet Leonard Cohen said, if you don't become the ocean, you'll be seasick every day. It's a more poetic way of saying life is like a roller coaster. Enjoy the ride. The problem is, some of us, myself included, don't like roller coasters. They make us sick. So being told to enjoy the ride is kind of like saying, have a blast at your mammogram. I have been resisting the push and the pull of the tides for as long as I can remember. It's that sensation when you wake up in the middle of the night and you feel like there's something you're supposed to be doing, but you can't quite place what it is. A sense of overwhelm that never goes away. The feeling that your life is not under your own control. Newsflash, it isn't. And that's what the ocean's like. Wild, untamed, unknown, beyond all control. Beautiful for sure, but also scary. The mighty sea does not care about our tiny plans. We were expecting a yacht and sunshine. Oh, yeah? Well, here's a leaky dinghy and a squall. Good luck. At this point in our lives, and let's be honest, I know there are a lot of you tuned into this live stream who are very happy that this show starts at 7:30 at night, and you didn't even have to leave your couch to be there. There's no opening acts. This is a middle-aged dream. We're going to have you back watching Netflix before you know it. You're welcome. But it can start to feel like we've rowed out into the ocean and we can't see the shore anymore. And this causes no small amount of anxiety. This may be the state of mind that is to blame for the irritable tone of voice we sometimes use with the people that share a boat with us. When we say, "Come on, guys, row harder," or "You're going the wrong way." That's me with my children every day. And they're looking at me like, "Hey, Dad, why is that boat bigger and nicer?" And I'm like, "That boat, we don't care about that." And then there are the storms, the thunder and the lightning, and the scared faces of the people who depend on us, looking at us, asking, "Is it going to be okay?" And though we cannot be sure that it will, we put on a brave face, we try to stay calm, and we fail miserably most days. And it's at that point that we realize that our teachers and our mentors and our bosses and our parents had no idea what they were doing when they taught us how to be an adult. We were given a blueprint, intentionally or unintentionally, but plans get drawn up and thrown out every hour. So we decide to do one thing that we can do. We make a promise to the people in our boat with us. We say, "I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm going to show up, and I'm going to try." And that's the only real promise we can make to one another. Now, I don't take promises lightly, and neither should you. So here's my promise to you, my live streaming friends, this evening. Every single person who's tuning in came here needing something, with a space to fill, whether they know it or not, a hope or an expectation inside of them. I would love to be able to tell you that I can meet each and every person's need and request, and I could fix everything. But I'm old enough to know better. You folks, just like the ocean, have a lot going on underneath the surface, things that I can't see or control. So what happens in the next 90 minutes is going to depend on all of us. But what I can tell you with complete certainty is that the reason I'm here doing this, the reason I play shows, the reason I try new things, is because I want my life to mean something. So I intend to use all my powers as a songwriter and a storyteller tonight to try to give you some of those things that you need. If you know me, you know that I cannot promise perfection, but I'll promise you commitment. And with any luck, we're all going to leave this hang having had a great time and with full hearts. So here's the plan. I'm going to sing you some songs. And if this were the sit-down, stand-up tour that I've been doing for the last month and will be doing next month, I would then do some stand-up. I would tell you some jokes. But the idea of just doing stand-up to my wife and Shady and Lee, I couldn't do it. So what I'm going to do is play a whole bunch of those requests that you sent in on the text and through the newsletter. I'm going to play those. I'm going to think a little bit, talk a little bit about this year, what's happened, what's coming up. And, this is all part of my midlife crisis, It's just the audacity to want to try new things. Man chasing personal growth after the age of 30. I said that the other night, and my manager's like, 30? Where do you get that? Okay. Maybe it's a little older than 30. In any case, this is just who I am. I'm like, maybe this will work. Let's try this now. because I'm chasing a high. I want to get back to that first buzz, that feeling of human connection. And I hope I never stop chasing it, and I hope you never stop chasing it. So before I get rolling here, I just want to say thank you for picking up your tickets to the live stream tonight, for tuning in, for riding the roller coaster with me year after year, and for teaching me to want to be the ocean. Lately I've been taking stock of what is real and what is not. 12 photos of the same damn thing, and I do it again and again and again and again. Now me, I never felt like much of a singer, and my temper truly is a shame. But like a scorpion needs to sting, I need someone to blame, yeah. 'Cause I wanna be the ocean. I wanna go with the tide. Oh, to be the waves rolling with the changes. Feels like I've been seasick all my life. I wanna be the ocean. Call up my friends when I'm hurting, they don't call me back. I got no use for people like that. A kid sleeping in a car down the street, and we're over here talking about anxiety. It's true, I promise more than I can deliver. And no matter how hard I try, I just can't relax. I guess it's how I make myself feel bigger. Something to do with the past, yeah. But I wanna be the ocean. I wanna go with the tide. Oh, to be the waves just rolling with the changes. Feels like I've been seasick all my life. All my life. All my life. Said I wanna be the ocean. Woo. I wanna be the ocean. I got memories that I can't remember. Football games under the lights in mid-September. Didn't know we were getting into. Do you feel about me how I feel about you? Oh, 'cause I wanna be the ocean. I said that I wanna go with the tide. And I love to be the waves just rolling with the changes. Feels like I've been seasick all my life. All my life. Said I wanna be the ocean. I wanna be the ocean, yeah. We're gonna be the ocean. 'Cause we're gonna be the ocean. Thank you, friends. Thank you for the sold-out concert here. We didn't expect this tonight, but it's very nice. We sold out the internet. There's some things you never get over, whatever your parents say.
First on my list of these three things is the sight of my father walking away. Next on my list to be heaven, I already know what it's like, 'cause I fell in love when I was 16 with the absolute love of my life. Last on my list to be losing, someone always needs to win. And thumbing your nose at the boss, I suppose, feels like a beautiful thing. The thing nobody tells you, you figure it out if you can. There is one thing on earth that no one can touch, that's the sleep of a satisfied man. The sleep of a satisfied man. And I don't know why I love to leave you. It's not from lack of loving you. You can't remember when you stopped breathing. I can't remember it too. But I'm coming home tomorrow, and I wanted you to know that the part of me that could make you smile, that's the same part that needed to go. Nothing nobody tells you, you figure it out if you can. It's that they can't interfere or get inside here to the sleep of a satisfied man. The sleep of a satisfied man. Of all these things I've had to learn, it's just one I won't quit no matter how I try. One won't quit, it's all that I can stand. I don't quit, I never learned to say goodbye, but I hope for your sakes that you can. On April 2nd, the birth of my heart, the day that the zombie awoke with a start when I fell for Button, and she fell for me. Back in the spring of 1993, January 7th, 2005, the birth of my blood, it came fully to life. Now when I see St. Peter and I ask for my wings, leave me that memory and the joy that it brings. The thing nobody tells us, we figure it out if we can. It's the things that we can't get over that build the character of a man. Heaven and family and children are what's left of me when I die, then I'll hope for your sake that you're better than me at learning to say goodbye. Yeah, if heaven and family and children are what's left of the race that I ran, then I will quietly slip to the slumbering peace of a sleep of a satisfied man. Yeah, sleep of a satisfied man. On the sleep of a satisfied. May you leave here, and may you be next year satisfied. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, friends. Cat Dad here. Well, one of the first things that I want to point out about 2023 is that some of you may remember a post of mine, I think it was in November of last year, where I declared that after 21 or 22 years on the road, it was my intention that I wouldn't be touring very much this year. I just had decided to do a handful of festivals. Some great festivals. The Lions Folk Fest was one of my favorite shows that I've ever played, in almost 3,000. But I was just going to do those shows. And I met with the family and we discussed it. I said, look, I'm going to be home a lot this year. We're going to figure out how to make that work. And about one day later, I got a text inviting me to go do 6 weeks of sold-out opening shows. And so I immediately said, of course, I'm in, and new plan for Dad. I'll see you guys in a month and a half. But that's the thing about this job. You kind of, I don't know, it calls you and you just follow things where they want to go. And this year it turned out I would be touring a whole lot.
And so this is a song from an album that turned 15 last year called Glassjaw Boxer. And thank you. Thanks. Oh, I thought my wife was clapping for me, but she's fixing her iPhone case. That's what happens. You spend enough time on the road, you think people are clapping for you when they're not. Like you're like, oh, you must be clapping for me. Anyway, this is a song I wrote about being on the road all those years ago, thousands of shows ago, and it's from that album. It's one of my favorites to play. It's called Milwaukee. Moonlight highway quicksand trying to pull us off the road. You don't succeed by giving up. That's one thing I know. And I'm sorry you got sick, that I wasn't there. And if I acted like a dick, it didn't mean I didn't care. I've been chasing dreams in magazines the last 10 years. And the way you treat your mother is up to you. But it can't feel all that good to be so angry. And I guess I learned that too. Jessica's afraid she won't find love. She says that she ain't ever home. Just last night I swear I heard her say, she said, what if I die alone? And it's a broken-hearted attitude, but it kind of fits right into a movie about all of us that's waiting to begin. I've been chasing dreams in magazines the last 10 years. And the way you treat your lover is up to you. But it can't feel all that good to be so jealous, and I guess I learned that too. And this will change in time. We'll feel more alive. Because protection is like a wheel, and the way you sometimes feel can make you think that you might even be the worst person you'll ever meet. Ah, but it's alright, 'cause we've got each other. Yeah, we got each other, because we got each other. Oh, and I've been chasing dreams in magazines so much more than 10 years. The way you treat each other is up to you. But it can't feel all that good, be so scared. And I know what that's like too. Oh, and I guess I learned that too. And I'm learning it still. She said, why am I so angry? Why am I so sad? How do I have so much and still feel incomplete? Why is it so good when I feel so bad? Yeah. And I guess I learned that too. And I guess I learned that too. Those of you who are on our monthly newsletter know that we fired up an email account. We belong here at StephenKellogg.com for the holidays, and it's we just said if anybody's having a tough time or needs a little emotional support, shoot me an email and I'll email you back, because what I realized a couple years ago was the real currency in this business is your stories and getting to hear that you've gotten to be a part of the soundtrack of people's lives and hear about that. And what's funny is that the emotional support emails that came in came from all different kinds of people going through all different kinds of things, but most of them, it was just like, man, I'm overwhelmed, or, you know, it's hard with the kids, or I'm worried about this, or I'm getting over cancer, you know, big stuff. And all I really could say, I was like, wow, man. Like, my emotional support, I felt a little anemic, because I don't do this professionally. I was just like, I hear you, man. Me too. That was pretty much all I was able to say. And but I'll tell you what, your emails made me feel a lot better, in the sense that I just thought, I'm not alone, and we do have each other. And sometimes when I sing this song, I'm reminded of it, because it's easy to get really frustrated with other humans. They do a lot of annoying things, you know? It's very hard, and we're all pretty keyed up after the last few years, you know? So if nothing else, maybe what I can offer you is we do have each other, and there are people that care. You only need one, really. And for the next generation, we're going to say, give those children roots and wings, and don't you ever fear the change it brings. There is no reason to be sad. Be thankful for the time you have. When I was a younger guy, one autumn night I told a lie. My daddy shook his head inside and said, son, one day you'll know what it's like to give your children roots and wings, and not to fear the change it brings. To tell the truth and be a man, to always do the best you can. And my mother, she did set me free from all the locks that once held me. She whispered in my infant ears that you were wise beyond your years. So even on my darkest nights, I felt the ground and I've seen the heights. And one day may you do the same. Oh, child of mine that bears my name, may you feel your roots and wings, and never fear the change it brings. There is no reason to be sad. Be thankful for the time you have. Oh yeah, for the time you have. Oh yeah, I said that somewhere in this heart of mine there's a clock that's always right on time. Keep your head down, friends, you'll be fine. 1, 2, 3, you let the love light shine. Yeah, baby. Thank you. We're really rocking now. Time for a sip from my best coach ever, a mug filled with irony for me. I was given this coach after leading the Monroe Lions to a 1-9 season. I'm not even positive we didn't win the one game by forfeit. I can't quite totally remember. I blacked out parts of that. I guess one thing I want to say while I have your attention is this. If you don't coach, if you're not a volunteer, I know a lot of you guys, you live in probably some affluent community and you have this very inflated sense of how much your kids are going to achieve. And I think that's fine. You go ahead and believe anything you want about what they're going to achieve. But as a coach, you cannot stand there behind the coach who volunteered, however inept he may be, speaking for a friend, and yell things like, what's she doing at midfield? I don't know. I looked up the positions like a half hour before soccer season started. But it left a mark on me, and every time I drink out of this best coach ever mug, I'm reminded that I really wasn't the best coach ever, but I didn't also ever get in any fist fights because I live in a small town, and I managed to make it through, and that felt like a big thing. A lot of you are probably, it's the end of the year. You're probably, hopefully, you're home. And but wherever your favorite place is, this song has been a fun one to sing. It's a sing-along, so I'd love it if you sing along. You can tag me or put it in a reel or something. But I always envision that I'm in, Gillette Stadium when I'm doing this song. So I'm going to listen. I'm going to hear your voices in my mind's eye. My favorite place, friends. I gotta get back to the city where the sound is a subway at night. The people I meet on the crowded streets, it helps me to feel more alive. And I gotta get back to the country where the sound is a song of the spring. The kids in the town, they're running around, it helps me to feel like I'm free. This is my favorite place. My worry slips away. I could stay here for days and days and days and days and days. This is my favorite place. My worry slips away. Well, it's time I was getting back home, where the sound is a song in my heart. All the places I go, I always know home is wherever you are. This is my favorite place. My worry slips away, and I could stay here for days and days and days and days and days. This is my favorite place. My worry slips away, and I could stay here for days and days and days and days, days and days and days and days and days. All the places I go, I always know home is wherever. Home is wherever you are. Come on, a little louder now. Home is wherever you are. Let's make it weird. Come on. Home is wherever you are. Jazz hands. This is my favorite place. My worry slips away, and I could stay here for days and days and days and days and days. This is my favorite place. It's written on my face. I could stay here for days and days and days and days, days and days and days and days and days. This is my favorite place. Yeah, this is my, oh, this is my favorite place. You are mine, oh, you're mine. You are my favorite place. This is mine, oh, this is my favorite place. My favorite place, friends, my favorite place. So, we've got a lot more planned for you tonight. We're going to be doing the roll call, but we're going to do it at the end because we're letting a few more of you late ticket buyers get on there. We're going to be doing the roll call, which some of you will remember from the great traditions of 2020. But right now, I'd like to share with you one of the highlights of my year, which was I got to make a music video. I used to hate making music videos because I would always say, just don't make us like stand in a warehouse and try to like look cool and then have us like sitting on a couch. And every music video we'd make in the early days was exactly that. And it was really stressful. And then a bunch of years go by and you're not on a label for a lot of it, and so you don't get to make any music videos. And this year, thanks to a wonderful executive producer, Ron and Deb Kepnick, they said, you got to do a video for a song called How to Say Goodbye off of the newest record. And as luck would have it, I really had a concept for that video. And I'd like to share it with you right now, and when we come back, there'll be more music, a little glimpse of the sit-down, stand-up tour, the roll call, and a whole lot more. Enjoy.
I've been trying to let you go, but I can't seem to quit you, love. How I got here, I don't know. I was reckless with my heart, I suppose. It's not as if I ever had a choice. I knew before I'd even heard your voice. Now that you're leaving, everything's black. I find it hard to believe that you won't be back. And we both know I'll never really let you go. I've been attempting to be strong. It's hard to stand outside a closing door. I got so much to remember when you're gone. I don't get to hold you anymore. I know that we don't really have a choice. Forever I will always hear your voice. Now that you're leaving, everything's black. Still find it hard to believe that you won't be back. And we both know I never really let you go.
How to Say Goodbye. So what I failed to mention in the introduction is that the video features my daughter Adeline. She did the choreography She's a lovely dancer, and she wanted to go on a trip to with the French club. That was a little pricey, and I said, well, what do you say we work on this together, and then maybe that could happen. And she said, I'm in. And man, when you get to make videos with your family, it's a different thing, and it's a true expression of what we do. I co-wrote that song with my other daughter, Sophia Kellogg, as well as Sam Getz of Sixers and Wellesley Arms fame, and Jimmy Weaver. So it's wonderful to be able to share that with you. And a lot of the highlights this year were things that I got to do with the family. And people often say, oh, you're such a family guy, you love kids. Like, no, not really. I love my kids, you know. Some kids are rough, but I'm sure none of yours. I'm sure all you fans watching, you're good people. I know you are. I know you are, because I've met you and I've played for you. And but one of the other big highlights this year was we got to put out a single featuring Sophia and Adeline Kellogg and Counting Crows. We recorded a song of mine called Almost Woke You Up and played that together last summer on tour, and then Adam Duritz suggested we put it out. And so this summer, a dream that was 30 years in the making, a band that I'd been listening to since I was in high school, just dreaming of how would I ever find a life that I could sink my teeth into. And you go through so many ups and downs, and 3 decades later, the band that was your favorite band says, let's put out a song together, and let's have your daughters sing on it too. So if you haven't had a chance to check that version out, it's on Spotify and the other places, and that was definitely something worth mentioning here in 2023. But right now, I'd like to play you a different song. And I hope you know that these songs are never, you don't have to have kids, you know, to appreciate. These are songs about love. It's just that it's inconvenient to love kids. I have 4 people on the planet that I love unconditionally, that anything they could do, it's going to be okay. Like, even my wife, who you know I adore, I've been for 30 years, I have the children's names tattooed on my left arm. I have a symbol for my wife, you know, just in case. Like, it's your children. It's such a. And here's the thing about unconditional love, is they don't have to do anything to earn that. I don't need them to do anything. They don't have to achieve. They don't have to get A's. I'm happy if those things happen for them, that they can play music and be in that video with me. I'm happy for them that they were able to do those things, because I think it will probably enrich their life. But if it goes off the rails completely, it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to love them. And so if you are lucky enough to have somebody in your life that you love unconditionally, I mean, that's a big deal. And maybe remember to tell them that, and be grateful to know that love. So this is a song of mine off the new record that I wrote about unconditional love. Big smile, big eyes. I don't think we slept until the day that you turned 5. The next thing I know, I'm holding on so tightly, and you're trying to be let go. But the one thing that never changes, it doesn't matter what the age is. When I'm standing next to you, my heart still races. There is no way in my eyes that you can fail. It's a thrill to watch you ride the rails. So go find yourself
May the final destination be a host of evening bells. Be your own boss. 'Cause everyone who's in your corner will be so much better off. And the one thing that never changes, it doesn't matter what the age is. When I'm standing next to you, my heart still races. There is no way in my eyes that you can fail. I will always watch you ride the rails. Wherever your life takes you, and however your heart breaks, there is no such thing as failure if you learn from your mistakes. And I don't worry about you much, because you are even stronger than your daddy ever was. And the one thing that never changes, it doesn't matter what the age is. When I'm standing next to you, my heart still races. There's no need to be exceptional. My love is always unconditional. So don't get hung up on some small details. Just get out there and ride the rails. That one's called Ride the Rails. It's off the most recent record. And from there, I'm going to go back in time a ways. A lot of you guys requested this next one. It's the song that led me to the gentleman who really saved us during COVID. He came in and taught us how to do these live streams. And he had heard this song and reached out and offered his help. I didn't realize I was going to be grabbing one of my best friends. You don't always grab those later in life. It's fun to meet new people that you feel are part of your family. So this year, one of the people I got to go on tour with was my friend Lee Totten, who's directing the streams. But those of you who were just at the shows in the Midwest, you got to see Lee and feel his heart, his big, big heart. So tonight, Lee, I'm going to dedicate this one to you and say thank you very much for being you. This is if anyone has never come to one of my shows and you're just tuning in for the first time, you're like, see that monologue at the beginning, you're like, what's happening? Is this guy doing a play in his basement? Basically, that's what I do. But this is my story, and I'm sharing it with you. Here we go. She was on fire and wild and American. She burns it out, probably just because she can. And if I had $1 for everything I should have said, I'd probably still be busted. I would throw it all away again, that's right. Lightning bugs light up all across the southern sky. And some guys get it all, they don't even need to try. I watched you roll away, you didn't even say goodbye. Now I hate the night, I'm guessing that's the reason why this is my life on the 4th of July. It isn't much, but at least least it's mine. So I got in my van and I ended up in Boston. I thought about my friends and how easily I'd lost them. I'd do it all again, I would leave everyone exhausted. Some folks get a break, me, I still ain't caught one. I thought of you, nights when I would drink too much. If you thought about me too, you never ever tried to get in touch. I went back to school and I ran into these guys I knew. We started up a band, but we couldn't seem to get it through. We got some gigs, eventually we lost that too. You ever think that maybe if you're not happy, it's because of you? And this right here is my life on the 4th of July. It isn't much, but at least it's mine. And I said, nah, 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 nah. So I got a job. I was selling ads for magazines at night. I would play and I would think about her constantly. Everything I loved somehow got away from me. Suicide, I used to talk about it openly. I finally quit, maybe I got fired, I don't know, doesn't matter. Just as long as it happened though. I added up the fears and the doubts I was living with. Songs of light and bugs, school and work and all that shit, you know. And this is our life on the 4th of July. It isn't much, but at least it's mine. And I said, nah, 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 nah. Lost a girl, some time and a couple friends. Small talk and parties, I never could stomach it. I'm old enough to say I remember when, but I don't have the time for your nostalgia, your criticisms, you live and learn. See, I've been learning and learning to let go of parents and bosses. People don't want me to grow, and I know that anything I want to, I could do. No one's gonna tell us just who we should be singing to, 'cause this right here, it's our life on the 4th of July. Oh, it ain't so much, yeah, but at least it's mine. I know what's mine now. Baby, this is my life on the 4th of July. Baby, it ain't so much, but at least it's mine. I said, nah, 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 nah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the journey, man, the journey. See, I got so much that I'm still learning. And this crazy world of ours keeps turning, turning. But my ambition is still burning, burning. See, it's burning me up. Woo, yeah! Woo! Burning me up. Hey! Your speakers are rattling. We're rattling. We're partying our way into the new year. Such a party guy. Yeah, man. The last line I just added on there. My ambition is still burning, you know? Dreaming new dreams is such a big thing. Sometimes bad things happen. A couple of bad things happen. I know some of you had a really tough year. Challenging things happen, you know? What happens when a narcissist comes up against an empath?
It can be very toxic. And then you can learn, and you can detach yourself from things. Or your chimney falls off your roof, and you go, this is bad news. I didn't want to have to spend money on this. I didn't want to have to deal with this. And then you learn that your chimney could have been a fire hazard, and you're now able to fix it. And I mean, things happen, and I'm not saying everything happens for a reason. I don't know. Who can know? But I am saying that when bad things happen, they'll have happened, and you can't undo that. But one thing I found myself looking for this year is like, okay, man, what's the good part about what's happening right now? And usually, and maybe that's foolish optimism, I don't know. But it's helped me this year to go through hard things and go, all right, what am I supposed to learn here? What am I, how's this gonna make me better than I was? And so one of the things that happened to me this year that I did not expect is a friend of mine who owns a comedy club kept asking me to come down and try some stand-up. He would come to the shows and hear the stories. And I had always loved stand-up, but it seemed insane, because it is, the audacity of stand-up. He kept sending me dates, and he put me on, and I got to do, in May, my first stand-up set. I did 15 minutes, and it was wonderful. I had a really good time. So that's how I ended up doing that on this tour, where there is a chunk of stand-up every night. And if you come in the tour, don't be nervous. I would get nervous sometimes when we go to stand-up clubs, mainly because last time I went to a stand-up club, Shady and I were in L.A., and we went into a club, and who was there that night? Sebastian Maniscalco gets up, Whitney Cummings, Ali Wong, and they all made fun of us. They sat us right in the front row. That's not really Bert Klesher was there. It was unbelievable. And they were just having their way. They're like, did you guys not know you were going out tonight? That's what Whitney Cummings said. She said, what happened? You forgot to get clothes or whatever? It's unbelievable. So really quickly here, I'd like to my friend Peter Harding came out and he taped a few shows, and we're just gonna share a little snapshot of this sit down and stand up tour, in the hopes that I've got 10 more of these shows coming up, and I can't wait to share them with you. So this is a little video that Peter made that just gives you a feel for the tour. This is the first tour that I've ever done stand-up, and it's the first week of that tour. And so I realized that's a little bit like going to a restaurant and being told, like the chef's like, I've never really cooked before.
Tonight's show was amazing. I really enjoyed how he kind of wove the comedy into what he was doing with his music, and I've been a fan for a long time, so some of my favorite songs I got to hear tonight.
I didn't expect to laugh so much at the show, so that was a great surprise tonight.
I thought it was funny. It was good. He was pretty sharp.
Sit down and stand up, awesome show, great time. You laugh, you cry, it gets the emotions going, just a wonderful experience. Everybody needs to come out and see this show.
I would tell all my friends to go see Stephen Kellogg.
We've got kids too, so we're like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no, he's spot on.
I think I've seen Stephen maybe 15, 20 times, and sit down, stand up was probably the most impactful to me personally. There's times where I had to sit down to kind of collect my emotions, and other times I wanted to stand up and cheer.
My heart feels full when I see Stephen Kellogg.
He's got the chops for stand-up, for sure. And the fact he's a great musician on top of that only adds to it.
I really enjoyed it. His comedy was fresh and fun and relatable. The sit-down stand-up tour was super fun stuff.
I think Stephen is very funny. I laughed out loud more than once. I welcome a show in the future with music and comedy.
Stephen, thanks a lot. I got what I needed. Thank you.
Peter just sent us that. So you get a sense of the tour. It's funny. That guy's like, I laughed more than once. It's like, well, I should hope so. It's a comedy show. So that's Not exactly a compliment. That may not be in the next version of the reel. I don't know. We'll see. So I do want to mention, I appreciate you being here so much tonight. We do have some merchandise at the Kellogg Family Store, a store that is run by our family, although really my wife Kirsten and I do most of the work, and when the kids do pitch in, we take pictures for marketing purposes. But so we have some new merchandise, and we have a free shipping code for tonight, because if we were all at a show, you wouldn't have to pay for shipping. So it's BYE, oh yeah, there you go, BYE 2023. It'll work for the duration of this stream, which will be up for 72 hours for you. And you can get free shipping on anything you order. We've got a bunch of tour t-shirts, and we have a 300-page songbook of all the lyrics, and we have onesies and tote bags and new hats and a flash drive with my life's work on it. It's 16 albums and 4 music videos and the whole 200-page songbook, and we sell it for, I think, $35. And I think that sucks. I'm like, it's my life's work. No, I'm kidding. So we have that stuff there. We have a book that I'm guessing most of you who are on here probably have run across by now, but it's called Objects in the Mirror, Thoughts on a Perfect Life from an Imperfect Person, and that's a collection of essays that I wrote about the most useful stuff I've learned so far. We're now on our 3rd edition of it, which has no known typos. So that's good news. So those are all things we have. We have the free shipping code. It makes, I'm not hard selling you in the middle of your live stream, but it's a big part of letting us know we're doing a good job. It's how we make this whole thing work. And if you're inclined to jump on there, know that when Kirsten and I package your package, we'll be like, badass, good stuff. Oh, God, and the whole thing that you told me to talk about, which I totally forgot, we've added a new section on the store called the Vintage Shop, which has old concert tees that we've come back into, out-of-print music, old concert posters, just a different, there's some instruments, there's some stuff on there if you're looking for something, memorabilia and things like that. So I hope you enjoy it, and we appreciate you going to Kellogg Family Store. Okay, I want to play you a song. This was I'm pleased to report the most requested song tonight, so I'm going to drop it here, and it's a song called To the Ones Who Need It Most, about loving the people who are the hardest to love. You know who those people are in your life. We've all got them. So what I do is I sing this song, I put it in my heart, and I just let her rip. Here we go. In the town that I called home when I was younger, was a kid who used to chase me like the thunder. Well, I couldn't see it then, but I guess that we were friends all along. Who'd have thought that a time when we were searching for a meaning, they would try to tell him there's no point in dreaming. Oh, well, just the other day I heard he passed away all alone in that same home. Everywhere I go, for all we think we know, no one ever feels like they're enough. The more I learn that love, well, it's all we need, yeah, all we need is love. The more I learn to love. These days it's been hard to find a reason. There's so many different ways of disagreeing. I've been raising up a toast to the ones who need it most. May we all know that love is everywhere we go. We give it even though we don't always feel like it's enough. But the more I learn
learn, the more I learn that love, well, it's all we need, yeah, all we need is love. Well, the more I learn to love. And one day we'll be dust and stars. It doesn't matter who you are. All the riches on this earth won't fill your heart. Love, well, it's all we need. All we need is love. The more I learn to love. Even when they call us bleeding hearts. How we love, and that's who we are. And the more I learn to love. Well, it's all we need, yeah, all we need is love. And I don't say that in an idealistic, all we need is love, but it really is. That is the currency. That is the vibration that you want to be on in life. And so people who are not hard to love are the people who are tuned in tonight. So I know this might take a minute, and then we'll go into the final section of the performance and the show. But I would like to thank you all by name, because that's not something that I usually get a chance to do. We call this the roll call. To the ones who need it most, roll call. It's been branded by to the ones who need it most, roll call. I like that. Okay. I'd like to thank the following people for coming out tonight, and everybody who's in the house with them, and everybody who they forwarded the link to illegally. Thank you to James Mershon, to Paolo Rosado and Stephen over in Scotland, to Ron and Deb Kepnick, who have been such big supporters of my art and my music. Thank you, guys. Travis Page, Ada May, Candace Mauerhan, happy birthday. Ethan Renner, Amanda Schlossberg out in California, Rob Scuba, Art Durla and his beautiful family, Kristen Vickery, Kendra Hill, Carlos Newman, Katie Roberts, Kristen Hem, Katie Benson, the Tolley family, Pamela Schwartz, thanks for being one of our healthcare workers, Roger Ryman, Claire Hammond, Will Karpiak, Patrick Rubin, Clayton Ames, Karen McCullough, Vanessa Hughes, Alyssa Love, one of our teachers out there. Teachers, we appreciate you so much. Terry Lowenthal, Cecily Stepney, Kim Ten Ake, Nathan Ank, Kristen Rich, Susan McCullum, Bob Brenner and the Brenner family, Michael Morgan, Valerie Smith, Dorothy Meyer, Gretchen Seitz, Catherine Van Eddy, William D. Craig, who bought multiple tickets for tonight just to be a badass. Thank you, William D. Craig. Jim Finnegan, Michelle Krogulski, Peter Passarella, Stephanie Miller, Jessica Reed, Michelle Slife, Rebecca Masla, Ruth Sutter, Sarah Brookhart, Chris Tarr, my boyhood friend, my first best friend, Chris Tarr and Jay Miola. Both these guys are still in my life. Thank you, Chris. I miss you, man. I hope I see you soon. Kimberly Leverett, Jared Brown, Jennifer Haskin, Jeffrey Mendel, Anthony Mastrude, Jay Sanford, Maggie Shaver, Susan Palmieri, and Chip Rubenstein. Love you guys. Ed Caffrey, the 80-year-old intern who I'll talk about in a minute. To Tom and Mary Gilding and WBSD that made Keep It Up Kid the #7 record on their station in Burlington, Wisconsin. Appreciate you guys. Catherine Gibson, Julie Fancy. To Molly McHugh and the McHughes, old friends,
Can't make old friends. Love you guys so much. Tammy Strauss, Stephanie Nizuski, Barbara and Joe Gardner out in San Diego. Love your emails. Emily Morris, Vicki Evans, Emily Kleintop, Alyssa Bone Crusher Beinhocker. Lights out, buddy. Allison Hammer, my co-author. Hopefully you'll get to read that novel. That was another thing that got finished this year. A novel called The Set List that I wrote with a woman named Allison Hammer, and we're working on how that'll get into the world. And if you publishers interested in reading it, give us a call. Barbara Lindsay, Andrea Bobb, John Aldrich, Max Buckby Selleck, Jess Nordman, Christine Gillespie, Ben Stupar, Margan Muth, Beth Maurer, Marcy Johnson, Kimberly Reed, Catherine Henry, Eileen Carlo, Catherine Jameson, Joanne Wardrip, Andrea Stronsky, not as good at this as I used to be, Michael Roach, David Bishop, Colleen Weiler, Sarah Lardner, Frederick Savage, Jessica Patron, Daniel Schoening, Courtney Carlisle, Alyssa Bauer, Nicole Newbaker, Marguerite Ainsley, Shannon Graziano, Sharon Cohen, Maria Baski, the Armstrong Clan, Cheryl, Debbie, and Katie, Julie Druitt, Chad Cross, Kimberly Cook, Gene Holson, Michael McCarran, Deborah Linder, thank you for always coming out to the shows, Laura Langenecker, Melissa Soltero, my old touring buddy, Justin Vartanian, Stacy Young, Curtis Egner, Jenny Wells Hosley, Megan Henry, Susan Hickenbottom, Wendy Davis, Stephen Markoff, Eric Rudderman, John Nauser, Chris Hallman, Christopher Burkett, Andrea Hartman, Marshall Shavitz, who volunteered so much at the merch table. You helped us out. Thank you to all those of you who helped us at the merch table this year at our shows. It's wonderful to get to know you a little bit, and we appreciate the help. Sean Glenn, one of my guys in my wedding party. Love you, Shawnee, and his wonderful family, my godson, Ryan and Connor and Betsy. Leanne Kruger, Nancy Templeton, Brian Landgren, Todd, Richard, Katie Murphy, Lindsay Scott, Jessica L. Ray, Mary Emilio, Can't Stop, Won't Stop, Aaron Chidsney, Emily Bliassi, Colleen Snitch, Lars Hansen, Aaron Friedman, Asia McCrae, Julianne Bryson, Sarah Crum, John Mew, Glenn Peer, Weekapog, there he is, Mackenzie Carlson, Drew Farnell, who's been taping shows that we're hoping to share soon. We haven't been taping publicly putting out the comedy shows because you don't do that. We're working on it still. But you'll have your shot at that down the line. David Hill, Scott Stewart, Allison Collin, Elizabeth Mora, Katie Discordia, Mary Chris Escobar, Michael Monroe, Corey Chancellor, Andrea Moore, Chris Lundenberg. This is such a beautiful list. We didn't have a list like this at all 2 days ago. It's unbelievable to me that there's all these names on it. When I decided to read this, there was a lot less names. So your last-minute ticket buyers, and that's stressful, but I'm glad you're here now. Heather Wakefield, Joe Patron, Pamela Highland, Aaron Dunifon, Janelle Buchanan, Debbie Hamill, Joe Guistina, Christine Canaire, Kimberly Lorenz, Heather Cassidy, Patrick Riley, Zerlinda Jesse, Christine Haddon, Laura Turnbach, Laura Pratt, Christopher Myers, Christine Ellis, Frank Filto, Kelly Kreischer, Sean Klein, Justin Shady, Shannon Byrne, Dustin Degree, Jeffrey Sunkian, Jason Sweeney, and Scoop Shops up in Boston. They're the best. That's great. I love you, Jason Sweeney. John Cumpart, CJ Frawley. Oh, man, my old choir director. Thanks. Look, Ma, no hands. We did it. Tim Barrow, Sarah Harmon, Sarah Rothenberg, and Nicole Labs. Thank you all so much for being tonight's ticket buyers, for tuning in for the Year in Review 2023. It is very special to have friends and people that you relate to. I'm going to do just a few more songs for you. And this is not one that I wrote. But this year we had Shady. I did a few shows with the band, but it was mostly my tour manager of 20 years. Shady Cats and I. And we went on the road, and my 80-year-old father-in-law, Ed, started going, I think I might come out with you guys. And he did. He started traveling with us to New Jersey, to Maine, to Rhode Island. He'd just get in the van, just the three of us. And he came on the road, and he made 9% of the shows that I played this year, which was interesting, doing comedy there. But it meant so much to me. I learned a song for his birthday that I think in a lot of ways summarizes this year and how I feel. It's not one that I wrote, but it's one that I got to play every night on the tour in November that I did, opening up for Mark Roberge of OAR, and then we'd play for about a half hour together every night, and we learned this song that I think is one of the greatest ever written. So I'm going to see what I can do with it and say to my 80-year-old unpaid intern, I hope you've learned a lot on the road, and we're happy to let you pay for lunch anytime. You won't offend me. Offend my sense of manhood. Okay. Y'all doing good? And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every highway and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do, and I saw it through without exemption. I planned each chartered course, each careful step along the highway. Oh, and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you know, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing, and now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way. Oh no, oh no, not me. I did it
what is a man? What has he got if not himself? Then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my way. Yeah. Yes, it was my way. Man. Whew. What a thing to be able to say. It's a different road than I planned, but man, it's been a good road. And it will continue to be a good road, whatever it looks like. So I'm just going to do a couple more songs. And then I'm going to send you off into the year. But truly, what a highlight to get to do that tour with Mark and have family out there on the road, do the festivals. I'm going to play a very old song. This one came out in 2001, and it was one of those first songs that gave me a suspicion, an inclination that it would be okay. And if you ever think that maybe it's not going to be okay, I think that that's natural. And that's when you put on one of these types of songs. A day like today just feels so good. 12/30/23. Everything is going as it should. The mystery, well, I guess that it's understood. Just like my mama, just like she said it would. So could you act the way that you dream you could? Oh yeah, and dream the way that an actor would. But you relieve the clouds of rain. You remind me there'll be other days. And it goes without saying, if you catch me praying, it's for days just like this one right here today. Pick me up at 12:15 when the sun gets riding oh so very high. Wear your old jean shorts for me. You know, the ones that you cut just above the thigh. And you know I've always loved you, so don't make me tell you why. When you let me do my thing, I am a different guy. 'Cause you relieve the clouds of rain, and you remind me there'll be other days. And it goes without saying, if you catch me praying, it's for days just like this one right here today. Yeah. Break it down to a level I can understand. You could be the woman and I will be your man, yeah. You just know where you stand. Yeah, and I walk with my head held high when I can. But not every day's all that easy and the tough to plan. So when the good day comes, you gotta do as the good day demands. But you relieve the clouds of rain, and you remind me that there'll be other days. And it goes without saying, if you catch me praying for peace, it's days like this one day. And it goes without saying, if you should catch me praying for peace on days like this one day. On days like this one day. Now for some of the songs that didn't get played tonight. Last night I got lonely in Columbus. Called you for the third time in a day. You said you were feeling better, but I still felt so depressed. Cause it doesn't change the fact that I'm 800 miles away. But she moves in such a way. People fall in love with her most every single day. You're my diamond, sweet beauty diamond, sweet honey diamond. Hope we die the same night when we're 99. Hope we go in our sleep as my diamond girl shines. I sit around and around and around and around the Rocket Man and a wall of sound. Oh, Thanksgiving, the harvest comes to a close. Redemption is a bugle that humility composed. Yeah, could you see yourself like I do? See yourself like somebody that loves you. See yourself like I do. Friend, see yourself like somebody that loves you. Grazie. I know we didn't get to all the songs tonight, and before I finish with sort of the encore of what this is all going to be, because I hear you, I feel you. Before I finish with all that, I want to say I true to form, I'll be switching it up. I'm always switching it up out on tour, and when you check out the Family Store, there's a pre-show hang that we do for all these shows where I usually get to play some of the deeper cuts that might not always make the set. And I love those, and we get to hang out a little bit. As we've all gotten older and things have, spread out as they do, it's been wonderful this tour to connect with so many of you night after night. And I appreciate you all so much. I hope you've gotten a lot of good things out of this live stream, and I just want to say thank you to my team as well, who works so tirelessly, little engine that could style. So thank you to everybody. I don't want to name names because I'm too afraid of forgetting them, but you know who you are, and I feel you and appreciate you. So before we do this last bit, I want to share with you this single. It feels like a lifetime ago. The single that we came in to this year with was a song that we also got to make a video for. And the video features, wait for it, my family. But that was my hero, Willie Nelson. It was family and music. And sometimes you don't realize that the thing you wanted, you're doing. You have what you want, We could all use a little more dough or whatever the hell, but if you're getting to do what you want. So I wrote this song, I put it out, and that was a lifetime ago. That was before my oldest headed off to college. The college drop-off was ridiculous. Thank you, friends, for asking. I didn't speak for 3 hours, which if you know me is saying something.
I cranked AC/DC for like 3 hours straight. They were all like, "Is Dad okay?" He will be. But she's doing great, and the family all sends their love, and we appreciate you. And so before I do this last thing, I want to share with you the music video for the song that really has been the theme of the year. This song's called It Goes Fast.
Hi, Daddy, it's Sophia, and I wanted to say hi to you because I miss you, and I want to talk to you. Bye.
1, 2, 3.
When I was first born, it was just my parents and I, and we lived in Massachusetts.
Seems like only yesterday you climbed up in that bus. Picture with a big OK and you're smiling back at us. Birthdays and recitals driving you all over town. We were both so busy trying not to let you down. Because love's a one-way street and you will always have my heart. I know you're in a rush, you were from the very start. So if I hold your hand too long or embarrass you in class, know I'm only hanging on, 'cause it goes fast. It goes fast.
From the first moment I held her, I looked at her there in the hospital and just...
Cat was in the cradle and I worked most every day, fumbling for the words, trying to know what I should say. When was I to push you? When was I to let you be? If we had each other's eyes, can you imagine what we'd see? But love's a one-way street, and I know that much is true. I sometimes get frustrated, saw so much of me in you. But all of your best moments and the worst ones too won't last. It's like smoke right through your hands. It goes fast.
I think that's the wild thing, and I realize that my grandmother, when she was 93, still felt the way she felt when she was a girl. I mean, you're still, so much of you stays the same, even though lots changes.
The day your car rolls out that driveway, doesn't park here anymore, that is the day that we were getting you ready for.
He would do these videos and would send them to me to watch when I was like little, and they were called Handy and Candy. Handy and Candy.
'Cause love's a one-way street and you were made to drive away. I hope I'm there to see it when you have your own someday. The distance between then and now is shorter than we knew. If you don't believe me, dear, one day you'll know it too. We're not the first to feel this way, and we will not be the last. There's something about that old cliche. It goes fast.
It's not lost on me that that's the same age that I was when I met this daughter's mom, you know? So everything that we're seeing play out are moments in time that we can still remember, that don't feel that far away. And that is mind-blowing.
I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there's awesome things about growing up because there's so much independence that comes with it, and you realize, oh my God, like look at these things I can do. But there's still so much of me that like, I don't know, I'm getting like emotional. I just, there's so much of like love when you're young, and that just really sticks with you. You know, I feel like that love that you get when you're young, when you have like a family that is very loving, and I feel like I have that. I feel like it never really goes away. And so growing up is growing up on your own, but you always carry that love that you get from when you're young, at least in my experience.
It goes fast. You better believe it. It does. Look who I found. Look who came. Look who came. Those little girls from that video. Before we play this last song, thank you again for tuning in. I was just asked to remind you, we have a free shipping code tonight, BYE 2023, BYE 2023. And for the people who asked about tour posters, we're trying to figure out how to ship them without creasing them, but we haven't been able to figure it out yet. So Old Family Store at StephenKellogg.com is going to figure that out. Right, Kiki? We're going to figure out how to get you those posters. We'll see. Gosh, all right. Thank you. Thank you all so much. Here we go. I'm going to play you an old song I think this one might be my favorite, so I get to sing it with Sophia and Adeline Kellogg. Here we go. Well, it's hard to live in front of the world. There's only so much that you can pretend. Write down what it is you're thinking. Take each day as it comes. You never know what's hanging round the bend. And as far from the world as we get, I can swear that the two of us will always be the same, and figure out what it is you believe in. And if you must choose, try not to trade your fortune in for fame, and you'll learn. Wait your turn. Yeah, and you get sick on the way by the things that people say. It'll break your heart against the wind, but you will just keep breathing in. If you're scared to live in front of the world, I got news for you. You should be then. When your confidence gets low and you got nowhere to go, just remember how you felt about me and our friends, and we'll learn. Wait our turn. Yeah, and we'll get sick on the way by the things that people say. It'll break our hearts against the wind, but we will just keep breathing in. Watch the way you fall in love. If you're smart, you take it slow. And don't ask me about it, 'cause I don't know. I don't know yet, but I'm trying to learn. And I'll take my turn. But I still get sick on the way
the things that people say, and it breaks my heart against the wind. But I will just keep breathing in.
And you just keep breathing in too, friends. Oh, yeah. From all of us here at the Red Jewel, myself, Kirsten, Sophia, Adeline, Noelle and Greta, and Casual Cat Holly, have a great New Year's. Thanks for riding the roller coaster, and never forget to try to be the ocean. Yeah, you coming over? Come on over. Come say hi. Come on. Bring it in. Notice, come on. There they are. Look at that. Lady G. Here we go. Who else? Mama want to pile in? No, she's shaking her head. She's like, hell no, not if you want to have a good New Year's. Okay, I love you all so much. We'll see you real soon. Be the ocean.
As we look back through the looking glass, visions closer than they appear. There's so many things to be grateful for, my dear. All these objects in the mirror, objects in the mirror.